Namaste, everyone. Christian Long, Life Enhancement Consulting. Give you a big and beautiful shout out on this Sunday morning. We are now in daylight savings time. We lost an hour, quote unquote, lost an hour. And we're doing our Transformation Sunday of lecture, meditation, and healing. So let us invoke, start off properly. Place your hands on your heart and be aware of your heart. Be aware of the beautiful energies within the heart. Feel the heart expanding as the beautiful, loving energies radiate from the heart. They soften and soothe all the different bodies, the physical body, the etheric body, the emotional body, the mental body, even the causal or spiritual body. So much love. And be aware of the crown, the entry point of spiritual energy. Be aware of the crown expanding, receiving the downpour of energy from God, the great ones, the spiritual teacher, the higher self. And be aware of the heart and the crown together. The love of God, the love of all. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother. To Grandmaster Choel Kok Sui, to his teacher, Lord Bodhisattva Mei, to his teacher, Lord Buddha Kuan Yin. To all the holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, healing ministers, the angels of empowerment, the angels of inner strength, the angels of faith, to our divine selves, our higher souls, we humbly invoke for your divine light, love, and power, for your divine help, guidance, and protection, for inner and outer healing on all levels. We thank you. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. With tremendous gratitude, respect, and love, we thank you in full faith. So be it, so be it, and so it is. Thank you. All right, welcome everyone. Hey, where'd my notes go? Where are my notes? So I'm trying to find a nice, healthy balance between staying on topic, having the appropriate outline, but also not being a robot, right? And that's I think that's always a process. There are some people that are very natural reading teleprompters. I haven't had much experience in reading teleprompters. I'm sure I'll be doing it soon enough just to have that experience. But in general, I like to go off the cuff, go off the fly. So today we're going to be talking about true empowerment. True empowerment. Because I've been reflecting on, these talks come inspired. They come when they come. And I simply ask the question, what's important for the group? What will people get? Don't do teleprompters. What will people get value out of? And this was the topic that came to me. And like most of the topics that we cover within the Inner Transformation membership group, these topics can be covered many, 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 many times because the energy is different every time. You're different every time, hopefully. And so you're going to get something different out of it each and every time. I've taken basic pranic healing. I don't know at this point. I've lost count of how many times I've taken basic pranic healing. And every single time I take that class, and I say this with humility, memorized almost everything the first time I took the class I still 15, 16, 17, 18 years later am still learning something from it. So it's not about necessarily covering more of it, more of a topic. It's more of understanding what's already been discussed previously. So the topic on empowerment in our culture is quite fascinating because you hear that term thrown around a lot. I'm empowered, right? It's typically goes with the with certain movements of people believing they're empowered, and it's interesting because from what I understand of empowerment, true empowerment, the empowerment we hear in our everyday vernacular or everyday conversation is anything but empowerment, because it's entirely relying on the intelligence of the individual, the resources of the individual, the physicality of the individual, and it is about pride, about negative pride. And negative pride is the greatest factor preventing one from being truly empowered. So where does the empowerment actually come from? Well, it depends on what level of truth you're looking to understand it. Empowerment could be from the level of the higher soul. So everything that you can move in your physical body, feel in your emotional body, and think in your mental body is due to the energies of the higher soul permeating those bodies, right? So the reason you're intelligent or not intelligent is how much light is in your mental body that came or comes from your higher soul. And your higher soul feeds you a certain amount of energy into your incarnation. And then as you're experiencing life and living life, that energy is being used up, right? The more conductive and receptive you are to the qualities of the higher soul, light, love, and power, the more those energies are constantly flowing into your mental body, your emotional body, and your physical body. So it's really quite fascinating that we think we're empowered because of our own perceived power versus the energy coming from the higher soul. Now, taking it one step further, who feeds the higher soul of the individual? Your teacher, also known as your Satguru. Now, many of the people in this group are connected to Grandmaster Chola Kuksui, the modern founder of Pranic healing and Arhatic yoga. Does that necessarily mean that Grandmaster Chola Kuksui is your Satguru? Not necessarily. Master Chola could be your Satguru. Master Chola could also be a guide directing you to who your teacher, your inner teacher, or your inner guru is. And that is the person who feeds your higher soul and has been feeding your higher soul for eons and eons and eons of time. Then you go up even further and you have someone feeding your teacher, which would be the great ones, right? The great ones, the spiritual elders. So Lord Buddha Kuan Yin would be an example of a great one, the teacher of compassion and mercy. In the Christian faith, she would be known as Mother Mary. The masculine version of that teacher is Avalokiteshvara, right? So, and then you have God. So everything comes from God, and then it passes through a series of energy transformers, the great ones, your spiritual teacher's teacher, your spiritual teacher, your higher soul, and then ultimately into the mental, emotional, and etheric physical bodies, or the incarnated soul, right? And the insertion point, as we know in Pranic healing and Twin Hearts, the insertion point of the incarnated soul is the 12th chakra that we meditate on. So in Sanskrit, what we're talking about is called Sharanagati. In Christianity, it would be called faith. In Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me, which means through, right? So you are not the source of the energy, which is what the traditional, not the traditional, but the modern day empowerment movement is about. It's all about me, myself, and I. I am in control of my destiny? Well, yes and no. Which part of you is in control of your destiny? Your personality and your ego is in charge of your destiny, which there's a level of truth to that, right? If you want to start a business, you can start a business. If you want to go out and get in your car and run over the neighbor's dog, you have that free will. If you want to get married or get divorced, you have that free will, right? So those are based on the fluctuations of the lower aspect of who and what you are, right? I feel like being married. I don't feel like being married. I feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like going to the gym. So you are empowered to follow the tendencies of the lower nature, right? It's kind of like the driver who takes their hand off the wheel, right? The captain who takes their hand off the boat, the rudder, if you will, and then the pilot that takes their hands off the controls. And so the plane, the boat, and the car are all operating by themselves, which is representing of the mental body, the emotional body, and the physical body, right? And another way of looking at it is the charioteer, right, which is very common in mythic lore and the Bhagavad Gita, is the charioteer is the higher soul. And then the horses are the lower bodies. So you have the free will to let your lower nature take over, and people think that's empowerment, right? People think that's empowerment. I'm empowered to, there's been a lot of protests and a lot of rioting over the past 5 years throughout the United States and different parts of the world as well. And those protests are, I deserve to walk along the street and not have any clothes on and not have people judge me, not have people harass me, not people have take advantage of me. So that's them thinking they're empowered, but it's actually just the lower nature becoming overactivated within them. Then you have the being empowered by the will of the higher soul. What is your higher soul guiding you to do? And there are different ways to determine whether this is in alignment with the will of the higher soul or if this is in alignment with the tendencies of the lower nature. And that is primarily the Ajna chakra. The Ajna chakra is connected to empowerment. So when someone is being empowered, their Ajna chakra, which is connected to the higher soul, becomes bigger, stronger, and directed. Right? We talk about will a lot lately anyways. Will is the directing factor. No will, nothing happens, right? You have to have good will and the will to do good, right? You can say, I'm a loving person. And then you would say, well, how does that manifest? Well, it doesn't. I think I'm a loving person. Well, that's not accurate, right? Just because you think you're a loving person doesn't make you a loving person. It's a good start, right? Because you have to start with the thoughts and the viewpoint, but then you have to have the will to materialize it. You have to have the will to consistently think loving thoughts, the will to consistently speak loving words, and the will to do consistently loving things, right? So again, the Ajna is super important. That's why the Ajna chakra is called the master chakra. And it controls and regulates the energy of the chakras below it. So this is like for the United States, this is Washington, D.C., and all the other chakras are the other states. But this is the big boss. Whatever this assigns or determines, the rest of the chakras have to do. But if you're controlled by your lower nature, whatever the lower chakras are doing, that's what your tendency is, right? So it's like, well, what's the right thing to do? Ajna chakra. Go to the gym. What does the solar plexus feel like doing? Not going to the gym. Who's going to win in that moment? Is it the tendency of the lower nature or the will of the higher soul? Is it the thing that you feel like doing, or is it the thing that's the right thing to do, right? So that's why empowerment, the empowerment movement, is missing the component of faith, is missing the component of being conductive and receptive to something bigger than themselves. Because hedonism is about doing what you feel like doing and what brings you pleasure, which is most of the empowerment movement, right? I'm going to eat whatever I want because I determine what I eat and don't eat, right? That's based on the tendencies of the lower nature. That's not based on the virtue of, say, moderation and non-excessiveness. Is okay, this food is not good for my body, so I will eat it non-excessively, or I will eat it in moderation, or I will not eat it at all, right? So it's very, once you study the virtues, character building, and you stay in alignment with that, it's very, very easy to discern whether someone is a empowered person or a disempowered person. Disempowered means the energy is withdrawn. Empowered means energy is there. So when you're empowered, your ajna chakra is very, very big. So there's a really fascinating documentary. It's a six-part series on Netflix called Wild Country, which kind of, and I had no idea to what degree this actually happened in the early 80s. My body was born in 1980, so obviously I'm not going to know about things that happened in the early to mid 80s. But then, you know, here we are as an adult, and the wonders of technology and the internet and forever streaming media. I was able to watch most of, I still have 2 more episodes to go. I was able to watch most of the documentary called Wild Country that talks about Osho and how Osho started a spiritual community in Oregon in the early 80s. And it's fascinating. And I thought to myself, who's the main person that is running the show? Right? Who's the main person that's running the show? And it's this disciple who's very, very close to him, this Indian woman. Adriana has seen it. Of course you've seen it. And I think to myself, that is a person who has Sharanagati, because she has resistance after resistance after resistance of them getting their spiritual community set up within that area. And she overcomes the resistance in the most unique ways because she has Sharanagati, meaning she has humility and conductivity and faith connected to her teacher who empowers her. When you're being empowered, the ajna becomes big. When you're being disempowered, the ajna becomes small. So throughout this documentary series, they're constantly saying, this is a cult, this is a cult, this is a cult. Well, if it's a cult, you're disempowered. Meaning if you scan or feel the energy of the cult leader, their ajna will be big, right? Because they have ninja powers that were developed in a previous incarnation, because we all have a spiritual teacher, whether we're consciously aware of them or not. So that energy won't stay permanently if the person's not permanently connected to their lineage. And then the followers have small ajnas because primarily, and this is a whole other conversation, primarily the cult leader is plugging into the ajna chakras of the followers and siphoning energy, mostly because that cult leader in that lifetime is not plugged in to their lineage. That's a big, big conversation that we're not going to cover today. But they are plugging in and siphoning energy from their followers. So their followers have teeny tiny ajnas. The cult leader has a big ajna. But in the world of spirituality, in the world of being connected to your lineage, that empowers you to have the right thoughts, have the right speech, and take the right actions to accomplish the target or the mission. So you'll hear people that are in our world of pranic healing or Arhatic yoga, who are teachers, that they will start teaching a class and a student will ask a question, and the practitioner, the teacher, facilitator will answer the question and have no idea where that answer came from, but it's the right answer. They don't remember reading in a book. They don't remember studying it ever. It just came. That's an example of Sharanagati, that the teacher, the facilitator, is plugged into their teacher who's providing energy, providing inspiration, providing the right dosages for the people that they're teaching, for the people that they're sharing to. Correct. So Adriana says, this particular disciple got prideful. Absolutely. and pride cometh before the fall, right? Pride is the last vice to go. And we talked about this before, that even high level saints can fall due to pride. Once one becomes a holy master, they are free from the wheel of karma and they're free from pride. So everything they do is in alignment with the divine plan. All the thoughts, the words, the actions are in alignment with the divine plan. We're not there yet, right? We're still working on getting our ordinary lives together. We're still working on what? Self-mastery, right? Self-mastery, which is mastery of the lower nature. Never mind mastery of the upper faculties. Let's just work about the lower aspects. So this particular disciple, she would, in the ideas of the rays, and I don't know exactly, I haven't looked at her clairvoyantly, and I don't even think I could properly have the answer of what ray her different bodies are. But in general, she would be ray 1, right? She would be ray 1 because a ray 1 person is the pioneer. So this particular woman was given the assignment of, I want you to create an ashram in the United States. And she goes, okay. And then she was the bulldozer, literally and metaphorically, to create that ashram. So that's ray 1, the pioneers. Ray 2, the ray of love and wisdom, maybe not her ninja power. She was a relatively strong ray 3. But get what's the other ray I know she's very, very good at, ray 6. Super strong devotion to her teacher, right? So people that have very good Sharanagati, people that have very good faith, they are typically ray 6 people, the ray of devotion. The problem, one of the downsides of that ray, is they become fanatical. They lack discernment, which is partly what was happening with this particular woman. Pride was kicking in, lack of discernment was kicking in, because it was whatever it takes to accomplish the mission, whatever it takes to accomplish the target, do it, no matter who it hurts. That would be ray 6, right? Ray 1 and ray 6. So I think those are the two energies she's very good at and has mastered. So connecting it again with Sharanagati, there was a woman about empowerment versus true empowerment. There was a woman in Germany. This is maybe 10 or 11 years ago. And she was a very successful executive. And I believe she was in her late 40s, early 50s. She was attractive, very professional, very intelligent, had resources. And she was dedicated to Grandmaster Cho Kuksui's work. And she wanted to become a pranic healing instructor. And she wanted to spread the message of pranic healing throughout Germany. So within 1 year, she created over 250 basic pranic healing students. That's a lot. That's a very good amount of students, especially for your first year as a pranic healing instructor, right? Now, you have another person, an Indian man, that moved to Germany, who actually had to learn German through watching German sitcoms, didn't speak the language. He married a German woman, but he was highly devoted to Master Choa. He had super strong Sharanagati, super strong faith, super strong conductivity to the energies of the teacher. And in 1 year, he created over 2,000 basic pranic healing graduates. He had also looked at the spiritual teacher in, true. So there's also that factor. But if you look at a person who had all the resources, right, all the capabilities, but didn't have the Sharanagati produce 1/10 of the results of the person who had the Sharanagati. And even today, to my understanding, this person is producing similar numbers every single year, and this woman is no longer producing those numbers, the original numbers. And he didn't even speak the language. Now, there's a good point of him looking Indian. He could be an Indian mystic, an Indian teacher, and people have a certain level of devotion because of the way it's packaged, which I know a person who is an American who started dressing like an Indian, and people started to listen to him more of the spiritual teachings that he was sharing, because it's the packaging, right? That goes back to marketing. But as one of the pranic healing masters asked me, what's more important, practicing the virtues or marketing? Another way of looking at it is, what's more important, being super conductive and super receptive to your teacher and the teachings of your teacher, or marketing, right? So this particular Indian teacher was very much conductive and receptive to the message of pranic healing and the energy of Master Choa. It was very interesting. I heard this from one of the masters a couple of years ago. I never heard this story before, in Brazil, and they were they wanted to put a class together, and the basically the essence of the teachings was the power of the teacher's name. And so they put a big banner, they had a big banner, right? And they were having a basic pranic healing class, and they had a big banner and it said MCKS. That's why, if any of you have been following me for a long time, I used to put GMCKS, Grandmaster Choa Kuk Sui. And then after hearing this story a few years ago, I changed everything to MCKS, even the newsletter, after hearing this. And so basically there was a basic pranic healing class that was supposed to be happening in Brazil, and somebody created a banner who was conductive and receptive to the teacher and wrote out MCKS pranic healing, and they put this banner on a like a gymnasium doorway. And interestingly enough, after a period of a couple hours, that ended up attracting over 3,000 people to this class. It was supposed to be a class of a couple dozen people, but the energy of the banner and the energy of the person creating the banner, it pulled in thousands of people that they had to close off certain streets. They had to redirect traffic to figure out where people are going to park, because nobody could figure out what's this MCKS pranic healing. That's an example of Sharanagati, right? Because people are attracted to light. So where's the light coming from? The higher soul. Where's the higher soul getting its light from? The spiritual teacher, right? That's true empowerment. So negative pride, lack of purification is what creates the resistance, right? Negative pride and lack of purification, which goes back to lack of character building, is what creates the resistance. Humility, which is knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. So the person who thinks that they are an amazing speaker and they lean on their own strength of being a great speaker, they're not practicing Sharanagati. Does that make sense? So humility, purification, and taking action. So one of the masters said this a while back that I thought was brilliant. So, you know, in the beginning of every class, every meditation, every lecture, every healing, we do the invocation, right? So we invoke for certain qualities and certain energies to be impregnated in the thing that we're doing to make our job easier. Now, let's say you are about to do something that requires courage, and you invoke for courage, and then you don't do the thing that you need to do. That is demonstrating a lack of Sharanagati, a lack of faith. Does that make sense? So when you're invoking, you're asking for a certain kind of energy, and then you have to take the action utilizing that energy, which makes you more conductive and more receptive. So if you invoke for courage and fearlessness, and then you take action in the direction of the thing that you're afraid to do, the energy is being embodied within you, and you become an embodiment of courage and fearlessness. But if you go, Lord God, please give me courage, and then you don't do that thing, you're not embodying the energy, and you're showing lack of faith, lack of Sharanagati or conductivity. So it's very important that whatever you invoke for, be that thing. If you're invoking for love, be that thing. You can't invoke for patience and then immediately be impatient right afterwards. Make sense? And you invoke not only daily, but you invoke, throughout the day. That's another thing that people fail to realize, right? It's they go to church once a week for 1 hour a week. That's their spiritual bath, if you will, cleansing them, meeting with their priest, their pastor, their rabbi, their Haman. That's it though. But if you stay connected all day long, which you can tell when you're connected, what happens when you're connected? Your spiritual cord expands, your aura expands, your chakras expand, right? It's a big, big difference. You get a flood of energy. That's why certain people, I know people that will heal 10 hours a day straight. Why? Because of they are blissed out. They are in the flow. That's what being in the flow actually means. I remember talking to one of my mentors in Florida many years ago about this, and I told him of different flow experiences that I had with exercise, because I was actually studying how does one get into flow through exercise. So I was experimenting, and I had some of the most profound experiences of my entire life. And he was looking at the energy and he was scanning it, and he goes, huh, interesting. I said, what? He says, it looks like at those moments in time when you were in flow, your connection to your higher self was very strong, which means what? More energy is pouring into you. It's quite amazing. That's why people don't have many flow experiences. You know why? Because they think it's based on them. They think it's based on them. But for the people who are consistently and persistently connecting to their higher self, to their spiritual teacher, to the great ones, to God, never endingly, they're in a constant state of flow. But you know what's even more interesting is, in general, when you're in a state of flow, it's when you're also serving, right? It's also when you're serving. So if you're practicing Sharanagati all day long, you're being conductive and aware of your spiritual teacher, and you're not serving, what's happening to the energy? So your spiritual cord is huge, your aura is huge, your chakras are huge. Now what? You're eventually going to be congested, right? But if you're serving, then the energy passes through you and continues to pass through you. And as energy is passing through you, what's happening? It's cleaning you, which is making you more conductive and more receptive to even higher energies that you were unable to access before, right? We talked about this with bliss. The reason people don't experience bliss on a regular basis is because they're too congested and because there are too much impurities within their system. Their bodies can't vibrate at the level of bliss, right? And it makes life easier. I can't tell you how often I've seen the masters, senior practitioners invoke something's not going right. There's some blockage, there's some resistance, there's travel issues. I've never heard the masters have money issues because they've been multimillionaires for decades at this point, all the masters. So I've never heard of that issue, money issues with them. But in their own practices, they're constantly staying conductive. If something is becoming difficult, if there's a challenge within pranic healing, within the organization, within them teaching, staying conductive, staying conductive, staying conductive. And it makes life easier. So there is a specific practice in pranic healing that's taught in Arhatic yoga on how to practice Sharanagatis, which we're not going to be covering in this group, but a watered down version that is still very effective is called invocation, right? It's what we do at the beginning, and then we close at the end. But your goal is to be invoking throughout the day. How can I be of service? How can I be of service? How can I be of service? And trust me, you'll get the answer. You'll get the opportunities without a doubt. Yes, but if invoking, you hit the energy, no, so you can't be impatient after. So Adrian, I was asking the question, okay, so you invoke for patience, right? And you can't be impatient after that. Correct. Because you are meditating on impatience and you're not meditating on the extra patience or your greater conductivity to patience. So that's where you're lacking faith. So that means there's resistance of you being patient. There's resistance to you being loving. There's resistance to you being discerning, right? So for instance, somebody who's constantly getting fooled and tricked and deceived, what are they lacking in? Discernment. But it's easy for them to just love and feel good, right? They have no resistance to having love. They have resistance to practicing discernment because they are not conductive and receptive yet to discernment, because the light aspect has not been sufficiently developed in their mental and emotional bodies. So they would invoke, Lord God, thank you for blessing me with discernment. Thank you for blessing me with the ability to see things clearly and accurately. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then their frame of mind is now different than previously. They're becoming an embodiment of that energy. How to overcome resistance even when invoking. To recognize there is resistance, right? What is humility? Knowing your strengths and knowing your weaknesses. So it's having the humility to go, for the patience, saying, I realize and I recognize that I'm an impatient person, that I am connecting to impatient energies, that I have not developed the virtue of patience. Okay, I have the realization of that. Lord God, thank you for relieving me of impatience. Thank you for making me a patient, tolerant, understanding person. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And as you're connecting to the energy and as you're practicing gratitude, what's happening is, if you look at it clairvoyantly, your energy body is merging with those energies. You are becoming that thing, right? But if you're like, this isn't going to work, this is pointless, I'm just going to be an impatient person for the rest of my life, I'm not going to be tolerant, I'm not going to be understanding, why am I even wasting my time? That's creating resistance, right? So if you go, God's on my side, the great ones are on my side, the spiritual teachers are on my side, I have courage, and then you don't take the leap of faith, well, then you're not embodying that energy. That was actually one of my favorite points connected to Sharanagati that one of the masters made, saying, what's the point of invoking for that thing if you are just going to do what you are already doing? Lord God, thank you for blessing me with industriousness, with one-pointedness. And then you just continue to sit on the couch and do nothing, right? I see a comment coming in, a tiny one. So again, the topic of Sharanagati, the topic of conductivity and receptivity to your higher self and to your spiritual teacher, is a lifelong practice. If you could, you would take action. So she says, if you could, you would take action. It's not easy always. So what is she lacking? She's creating two things. One, she's meditating on the resistance and the blockage. And she's lacking the faith. Because do you have faith or not? Do you have conductivity or not? It was interesting. There were many times that Master Ko would share the story of, he would keep asking Master Choa for blessings. That's why I said taking action. He would keep asking Master Choa for blessings. Master, I'm doing this class. Please bless me. I'm doing this marketing campaign. Please bless me. I'm doing this. Please bless me, before he ever did the work. And he says, you're already blessed. You're already empowered. You have to do it. So meaning the great ones provide us what? Energy. Our job as physical beings and physical bodies, we have to take the physical action. That's how we transform energy. That's how we step energy down. Our job is to take the action. Well, I'm afraid to take action. Lord God, thank you for removing my fear. Thank you for blessing me with courage. Thank you for blessing me with the inner strength to do what is right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then you do it. Yeah, but what if I don't do it? Well, again, you're focusing on the resistance. You're not focusing on the faith, right? To say it's not always easy is saying what? The weakness within me is greater than the blessings and the grace of my teacher. Again, lack of sharanagati, lack of faith. It's not something to beat yourself up about, because that's negative pride. Such a horrible person. That's negative pride. But humility is saying, you're right. I have the tendency to meditate on the weakness and make that bigger than the blessings and grace of the great ones. That's humility, knowing your strengths and your weaknesses, and then go, I'm committed to being more conductive, more receptive, and move my life forward. Correct. Because of negative past experiences. So again, what are you meditating on? The past experiences. Those experiences are greater than the blessings and the grace of the great ones. Kind of a trauma sometimes. Yes. There was actually somebody, this was brought up in class one time about psychic attacks. Psychic attacks, right? I feel like somebody's practicing black magic on me. I feel like somebody's attacking me. And so the master said, okay, let's say that's the case. Let's say somebody is sitting down and actively attacking you. What is more powerful, our lineage or their thought forms? And the person's like, well, our lineage. So he says, what's the problem? Right? So you could say that in relationship to our traumas, past experiences, our own weaknesses. What's more powerful, the lineage? Who has dealt with our stuff more often, us or the great ones? The great ones know how to deal with certain energies. I'll give you an example. So I have a teacher. So I have a teacher that helps me on my path, right? Teaches me, blesses me, heals me, helps me, right? This particular teacher has mastered loneliness. Anyone feel lonely on the path? Like, man, here I am sitting again by myself with my eyes closed. This gets to be a little bit lonely. So this particular teacher helps with that. So I don't have that experience of overcoming that experience, because I'm still suffering from it. But that teacher has mastered that, right? So again, we keep going, well, these are my weaknesses, but what do we talk about in the Bible? Faith the size of a mustard seed can do what? Not faith the size of a city or a school bus, right? But faith the size of a mustard seed, which is implying teeny tiny. They didn't have they couldn't explain atoms 2,000 years ago to the common people. So mustard seeds are super tiny. If you've ever seen a mustard seed, they're super tiny, right? So faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And this is taught about 3,000 years even before that. So if you keep meditating, if you keep thinking the mountains within you are greater than the blessings and grace of the teachers, you're not practicing Sharanagati. You're not practicing conductivity and receptivity. You are not embodying true empowerment. Where you're coming from is a place of negative pride on the spectrum of I'm weaker than, my stuff is greater than their help. Think about that. So your alignment to the lineage and the power you receive is greater than anything you will ever deal with, because they, the great ones, have already conquered all of it. They've already conquered fear. They've already conquered the tendencies of the lower nature and well beyond that. But because we lack faith, we lack conductivity, receptivity, we go, but I'm special, negative pride again. I'm different, negative pride again. No one understands my particular situation, negative pride again. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. This is one of my favorite topics that I've been playing with the idea for a year. Remember, we talked about our yearly intention, and I've been playing with the idea of having Sharanagati be my yearly intention. But I understand what that will require, and I've not committed to it in the way that I would want to do it as a yearly intention, because I practice it all day long, but not stepping it up to that degree. But why would they help? But why would they help? Why would the great ones help? The great ones are always helping. They're always radiating. It's not about them coming to our level. It's about us going to their level. That's the difference. That's called free will. The great ones are never imposing themselves on us. They're simply radiating light, love, and power. I mean, helping with a certain intention, what has. If it's in alignment with the will of the higher soul, yeah, if it's in alignment with the virtues. And I'll leave you guys with this. And I was talking with somebody in this group about it, and it's really quite fascinating. If you want to alleviate your suffering in life, be in alignment with the virtues. Be in alignment with the virtues. So if you're suffering, and one of the masters talked about this a few years ago at a retreat, if you're suffering in life, it's because of you're out of alignment with the virtues. So if you are at a crossroads, right? You're at a crossroads, you're like, I'm not sure what to do. You invoke, ask for help, clarity and guidance. And then you look and say, okay, if I do this, is this in alignment with the virtues, the 5 virtues, or not? And if it is in alignment with the 5 virtues, even if you don't have the whole picture, move forward. If it is not in alignment with the 5 virtues, then you don't do it, because it will lead to what? Suffering. And you might be saying, well, I don't know if it is or is not in alignment with the virtues. Then that means you need to practice the virtues more, because it will be obvious. How many of you who have been practicing meditation and healing regularly are now more attuned to things that are good and wholesome versus things that are not? You just intuitively know. You're just like, I don't know, there's something about this person that I don't feel right about. There's something off that you would have missed before. It's kind of like, what's the term in dating? The red flags, right? When you're dating, when you start dating, I'm thinking about my son at this point because he's a couple years away from that. When you start dating, you have no awareness of the red flags of dating. You're just like, hey, this person's hot, this person's got money, let's do this, right? But as you develop your dating experience and as you have greater and greater awareness, you can start intuitively going, wait a minute, there's something off about this person, right? So the virtues is the same way. As you practice the virtues more often, you know what you're going to start doing? You're not only going to see when people are not being virtuous, but you're also going to start recognizing virtuous people that you didn't recognize before, which is quite fascinating. You're like, huh. And this is from my own experience. There are people over the years of my running into people in pranic healing, I had certain judgments or prejudices about them. I'm like, yeah, that person, right? Because I didn't have understanding because I wasn't practicing all the virtues all the time. And then as I've matured as a person, I look at that person and go, wow, they're very developed. They're very virtuous, right? But they were years ago. Yeah. So your spidey sense starts to get better and better and better as you practice the virtues, right? Your spidey sense gets better. You're like, ah, I can see the goodness in that person. And then you're like, I can also see the vice in that person. So again, if you want to live a higher quality of life and not suffer, practice the virtues, live the virtues. If you want to suffer more often, then stay away from the virtues, practice the vices. I don't recommend it, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because I see people always struggling, like always like, I don't know what to do. And it's like, hold on, be still, be aware, and look at it. You go, you don't know what to do. Why? Why is it that you don't know what to do? And then you can start seeing like, well, because of selfishness, because of low self-esteem, because of codependency, because of anger issues, right? Then you can start going, oh, that's what's happening as to why I'm having a hard time making the decision. But if you're practicing the virtues, you go, oh, the loving and kind thing to do is this. Very obvious. And then you just do it, right? And recognize that you are protected. If you're living by the virtue, you are protected by the nature of the virtue, right? So, well, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And what if this happens? And what if that happens? It's like, well, are you in alignment with the virtue? Then you're fine. You're protected. Okay. So I hope that helps. I hope you guys learned something. My apologies for running over, but I'm trying to make up a little bit from last week of not not feeling well at all. But I had to practice my Sharanagati. Um, Also, for those of you who know Sharanagati, to greatly amplify its effect, you do it in Lord Hanuman's pose. And it will dramatically increase the connection. Okay, so now let us do our exercises for all of you at home. Wait a minute, we're all at home. We're going to pause this. You're very welcome, Indiana. Now, so do your 2 exercises to your 2 songs, 2 sets of exercises to 2 songs, and we'll see you in a minute. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you got your exercise game on. Shall we? Can you hear me clearly? Yep, good. Perfect. All right. So sit comfortably. Or as we say, sit uncomfortably so you can practice I'm not the body. That's also an option. I notice a lot of people when they start meditating, they have these grandiose ideas of how yogis are supposed to sit or meditation masters are supposed to sit, and they try to emulate that, and they're uncomfortable the entire time. And so they're actually not doing meditation, which is what? Negative pride, right? They're not following simple instructions. So funny. We're all at different levels, right? So sit comfortably. We're going to do our 6-3-6-3 breathing. Remember, it's in the nose and out the nose. It's smooth and rhythmic and quiet, right? So this kind of pranayama is not cleansing. So it's not, right? We don't want to hear you. If there was a person sitting next to you, they shouldn't be hearing you breathe at all. So your breathing is very smooth, rhythmic, and quiet. And you inhale, your belly goes out, and when you exhale, your belly goes in. Okay? And for the first breath, we're going to exhale out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Breathe normally. Be aware of the inner peace, the inner stillness. Tell your bodies to relax and to release. Your physical body, relax and release. Release any and all tension, tightness in your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments, your bones, your posture, muscles in your face. Relax and release. And tell your emotional body to relax and release. You're safe. You're protected. You're healthy and happy. Give yourself permission to feel good. Relax and release. And your mental body, allow your mental body to relax and release. Put down old calcified thought forms, beliefs, ideals, judgments, criticisms, the way things should or shouldn't be. Just let go. Relax and release. Good. Now energy can pass through you easier. Be aware of your crown. Mentally follow me. I am the Soul Affirmation by Grandmaster Choel Koksui. I am the soul. I am not the body. I am not the emotions. I am not the thoughts. I am not the mind. The mind is just a subtle instrument of the soul. I am the soul. I am the spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am one with my higher soul. I am that I am. I am one with the divine spark within me. I am a child of God. I am connected to God. I am one with God. I am one with all. This is the truth, regardless of the brain's capacity to experience the truth. I am the soul. I am the soul. I am the soul. We are one. We are one. We are one. Separation is an illusion. There is only oneness. Oneness with God, oneness with all. We are one. Be aware of that. Be aware of oneness. Let go of your thinking. Good. Expand. Good. Oneness. 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 Good. Be aware. Maintain your stillness and awareness. Maintain your sense of oneness with God and oneness with all. Raise your hands in the blessing. Imagine the earth in front of you. Be aware of the heart. Be aware of the crown. Be aware of the hands in the earth. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Shower the entire earth, every person, every being with peace, with love, and forgiveness. Affirm, I forgive and I ask for forgiveness. I forgive all those who have hurt me recently or in the distant past. We are all in the process of growing and evolving. We all make mistakes. You are completely forgiven. Cut, go in peace. And for those you've hurt recently in their distant past, see them in front of you and mentally ask for their forgiveness. I'm sorry for what I did. I have learned my lesson and will not repeat the same mistake again. Please forgive me. I ask for your forgiveness and I accept your forgiveness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So be it. Let go of the hurt. Let go of the pain. Let go of the anger. Let go. Just let go. These energies no longer serve you. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is doubt, faith. Let the entire earth, every person, every being be blessed with hope and faith. See the people who are disempowered, who are lacking faith, who feel that they have to do everything on their own, through their own power. See these people being blessed with hope and faith. See them going up, connecting to their teacher, to the great ones, to God. That through God, from God, all things are possible. So be it. See the resistance melting away. See the clouds parting within their energy. See the light shining down upon them. So be it. And where there is darkness, light, sadness, joy. Wherever there are dark spots throughout the planet, where there is war, disease, famine, political unrest, see these places being flooded and filled with divine light and divine joy. So be it. So be it. So it is. Thank you. Be aware of your crown, your beautiful, expanded, luminous crown, super, super bright. Be aware of your hands and be aware of the earth. O divine master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, and to be loved as to love. See yourself as an instrument of goodwill and the will to do good for others. See yourself consoling others in their time of need, healing them, teaching them, providing for them in any and all ways. See yourself connected to the infinite source of God and the great ones, and to be a channel for others, consoling them, uplifting them, inspiring them, until they can connect to their higher selves. So be it. So be it. So it is. Be aware of your heart, be aware of your crown, be aware of your hands, and be aware of the beautiful earth in front of you. For it is in the giving that we receive. It is in the parting that we are pardoned. And it is in the dying that we are born to eternal life. See yourself living a life of virtue, not of perfection, not of infallibility, but see yourself living a life of virtue, being a good person, and being a better person each and every day of your life. See yourself letting go of more and more vices each and every day, letting go of anger, hurt, resentment, letting go of the tendency to lie to oneself and others, letting go of the tendency of selfishness, letting go of the tendency of fear and doubt, and see yourself living a virtuous life. One of happiness and joy, with loving kindness and generosity, with the ability to see things clearly, to be truthful to oneself and others, to be moderate in life, with your sleep, your exercise, with your eating, with your work, with even your spiritual practice. See yourself being a virtuous person. So be it. Beware the heart, the crown, the hands, the earth. Amen. St. Francis of Assisi. Gently lower your hands in your lap with your palms facing up. Beware of your beautiful heart. Smile. Feel lightness and happiness and joy. Inhale. Beware of 12 inches above your crown. Exhale. Send the loving energy to the 12th. Again, be aware of the heart. Feel the heart expanding. Feel the heart full of vibrancy and joy. Inhale. Be aware of the 12th. Exhale. Last time, be aware of the heart. Be aware of the love in the heart. Inhale. Be aware of 12 inches above the crown. Exhale. And stay there. Be aware of the luminous quality of the light of the 12th chakra. See the different colors dancing, expanding, pulsating, breathing. As you hear the mantra Om, be aware of this point of light. And allow your consciousness to expand. Oh. Oh. Be still. Be aware. Go higher, higher, higher. Let go. slowly and gently start to come back to your body. Slowly and gently come back. Move your hands, your fingers, move your feet, move your toes, especially your feet and toes. Come back to your body. Smile. Let's release the excess energies. Raise your hands in blessing. Be aware of the earth. Be aware of the hands. With the blessings of God and Grandmaster Cho Kuk-Sui, let the entire earth, every person, every being be blessed with divine light, divine love, divine power, with soothing, healing energies. Let everyone be blessed with happiness and joy, with inner and outer healing on all levels without exception. Blessings be to all, so be it. With the blessings of God and Grandmaster Cho Kuk-Sui, let Pranic healing, Arhatic yoga, the Twin Hearts meditation, and higher teachings spread properly, rapidly, enthusiastically throughout the entire planet to alleviate the suffering of mankind. So be it. May these teachings transform the world. So be it. Let's bless the week. Imagine each day in front of you. As I say, so be it, say, so be it after me to anchor the energies. With the blessings of God and Grandmaster Cho Kuk-Sui, let this coming Monday be blessed with divine light, divine love, divine power, with emotional calmness and stability. Let Monday be blessed, so be it. Let this coming Tuesday be blessed with divine light, love, and power, with physical strength and vitality. Let Tuesday be blessed, so be it. Let this coming Wednesday be blessed with divine light, love, and power, with proper and effective communication among all people. Let Wednesday be blessed, so be it. Let this coming Thursday be blessed with divine light, love, and power, with prosperity, abundance, and great success. Let Thursday be blessed, so be it. Let this coming Friday be blessed with divine light, love, and power, with happiness and joy of a successful week. Let Friday be blessed, so be it. Let this coming Saturday be blessed with divine light, love, and power. Let us properly and rapidly learn our spiritual and material lessons. Let Saturday be blessed, so be it. Let this coming Sunday be blessed with divine light, love, and power, with happiness and joy of a successful following week. So be it. Let this entire upcoming week be flooded and filled with gold. Lots and lots of gold. All the environments you interact in, home, office, and other, is flooded and filled with golden energies, sparkling golden energies, lots and lots of vitality. All the people you interact with, friends, family members, coworkers, employees, employers, suppliers, vendors, service professionals, every single person you interact with is filled with gold, sparkling golden energies. And as you see yourself throughout the week, see yourself as filled with gold, sparkling with gold. So be it, so be it, so it is. See your friends and your family members in front of you. Shower them with pink and gold energies from the heart and the crown. See them as very happy, healthy. See them accomplishing important things in their lives. See them living by the virtues. So be it, so be it, so be it. And then imagine a person you're having challenges with, difficulties with. See them in front of you. Shower this person with pink and gold energies. See every particle of their being, inside and outside their body, being flooded with these beautiful, soothing, healing energies now. Now, 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 so be it. So be it. Stabilize. Place your hands down towards the ground. Be aware of the base of the spine, the soles of your feet. Imagine roots of golden light going deep, deep, deep into the earth. These golden roots of light are anchoring you to the earth. Mentally affirm, my system is rooted and connected to Mother Earth. Let Mother Earth be blessed. Let Mother Earth be healed. Let Mother Earth be rejuvenated, regenerated, revitalized. Now, let Mother Earth be blessed with good air, good water, good earth, and good people. So be it. So be it. So it is. So it is. Place your hands on your heart. Be aware of your beautiful heart. Much, much cleaner, much more expanded. Be aware of your crown. Cleaner and more expanded. Radiant. Be aware of your heart and your crown together. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother. To Grandmaster Cho Kuk Sui, Lord Mahaguru Jameling, to Lord Buddha Kuan Yin. To all the holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, to the angels of faith, to the angels of awareness and understanding of who and what we are, and where we come from, and who is supporting us. To our divine selves or higher souls, we thank you all for your great, great blessings, for your divine light, love, and power. Thank you for helping us become better people and better souls. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. With gratitude, respect, and love, we thank you in full faith. So be it. And slowly come back. Well, how are you? How was your experience for this Transformation Sunday? I'm going to ignore what Adriana wrote, because that's what I do best.
Okay.
Go ahead. Wait, you turned yourself off. You just turned yourself off. You were on. There we go.
How about now?
Perfect.
Good. Okay, my experience was truly transformational today. It was just way out there. I've never seen so many portals as I did today, and just try to go through them to, the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
It was just very powerful meditation. Thank you.
Of course.
I can't really mention everything I saw, but it was just what an experience today. Unique for me.
But you were able to go through.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, I was.
Perfect. Good.
Yes, I was.
Which, by the way, for the group, that's a form of spiritual courage, because people see things in the inner world and they hesitate. They go, I don't know. But if you have the faith that you're protected, right?
Yes.
Then you go through.
I remembered you had said that, to go through and not worry. You were safe. And that's what I did. And I'm telling you, I'm kind of goosebumps today. Thank you.
Of course. Good. Always good having you on. Excellent. Good. Anyone else would like to share? Elif, how are you doing? Better? Still going? Yeah. Okay. It was a strong day. We're working on you. Anyone else? Indiana, could you mute yourself, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
happen.
Elif, focus on the heart. Good. Let it come out. Relax. So when meditations are powerful and the timing is right, people will release or purge old energy, right? Old energy, which is good, right? Better out than in. And this is part of the spiritual path, right? You have to think about it. When you do healing and do powerful meditations, you're releasing things that can be very, very old. And rather than taking months or years to release them, you can do them in 1 or 2 meditations, 1 or 2 healings, right? The thing is to go higher and to not be attached. So your emotional body is experiencing some pain, some anguish, some heaviness, and that's okay. So just go higher. Recognize that I am the soul. I'm not the body. I'm the soul. I'm not my emotions. I'm the soul. I'm not my chaotic thoughts. I'm the soul. Good. Elif, keep going higher. Go higher than where you are. Recognize that you're the soul. The soul runs the show, not the lower vehicles. Good. But purging is never pleasant. Interestingly enough, as you continue to grow and evolve on your path, you will purge more, but you will be more connected, right? You'll purge more, but you'll be more connected. Elif, smile. Come on, smile. Who's the boss? You or the little you? Big you or little you? Okay, keep saying I am the soul, affirming that for the next minute. Okay, let's see, we got all these comments here. Beautiful meditation. I saw a portal 2 went through. I was out. I was waves of blue. Like I saw waves of blue. Ah, good, good. Do you guys know where you were? During the healing, I felt pulled up, feel much lighter and calmer. Chrissy says my cough got in the way today. That's because the extra energy coming down, it's pushing out the congestion. That's a good thing. That's why meditating when your body's sick is sometimes difficult or not feeling well, because it's the divine energy is pushing out the congestion. Lady says it was neat because there was a little guy that popped up and guided me. That guide guiding you, then later after floating with the bubbly version myself with long pink curly hair popped down into my body feeling jubilant. Oh, interesting. That's very good. Make sure you write that in your journal. But the talk was triggering for me today. I understand leave much. Yeah, we know Adriana. Eddie wearing a white, happy, pink-haired. What's up, pink-haired? You're welcome, Elif. How are you? Better, yeah? Your face is soft again. Yeah, good, good, good. Okay. Indiana says, so good to see that lady. What a great feeling floating. Yeah, you guys seem to be doing a lot of floating and surfing blue waves today. Going through portals, purging it out. Good. Excellent experiences. Okay, so purging is okay. Purging is okay when you meditate. Crying is okay. Having not so pleasant feelings or not so pleasant thoughts is okay. That being said, you have to have awareness. I am not that. That's all. I am not that. It's okay to have not so great feelings, right? Some yogis have guilt and shame when they have sexual feelings or sexual thoughts when they're meditating. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be focusing on God, recognizing that God is everything. So it's okay. Recognize it, be aware of it, and then go, okay, I'm not this. We talked about the word anatta, right? Anatta means not of the soul. So pain, fear, anger, bitterness, resentment, whatever lower negative thoughts or emotions you're experiencing, anatta. It is not who and what I am. What am I? I am the soul. I am the soul. The meditation is just making all that stuff come out into your awareness. It's been there for a long time. It's just coming out into your awareness, right? That's all. Nothing to feel shameful about, guilty about. I'm not a good meditator. I'm doing it wrong. None of that, even a little bit. It's part of the process. Uh, if I could show you film of me curled up in a ball, crying hysterically in the middle of a hotel lobby while getting healing from a master, you know, people still 10 years later talk about that. That's purging, right? My purging was always very dramatic, and I don't know why. And I remember talking with the masters, and I said, Master Mary, like, what does your purging look like? She goes, no purging. I go, what do you mean no purging? She goes, no, I've had, she said something like, I forget, it was some physical thing that happened one time. And then Master Glenn had something with his eye one time. That's it. I was like, that's your purging? All the years of practice and all the higher meditations? Yeah. So some people, they don't purge in that way. Other people purge constantly because they're unable to go higher, right? So it's all good. It's all good. Okay. Letty says, I wasn't feeling well before, which I caught that. Okay. Wasn't feeling I thought I had food poisoning, but then when I thought I was vomiting, I felt energetic vomit. When I did the I felt cooled down. Now my headache and nausea is gone. Well, that's pretty good testimonial to the I am the soul affirmation. Indiana says, oh yes, the purge. Me too. I was the worst style of violence. Yeah, everyone has their stories, right? Yeah, bovine is the place to purge, right? Because it's lots of fresh prana, lots of divine energy pouring down all the time. It's like stepping into a spiritual nuclear reactor of energy, right? You're just like, oh, it's so much. My brother, when he came to see me to do the Westside Festival over 10 years ago, he was not used to that kind of energy. So he purged almost when he got onto the property, and then he slept almost the entire 2 days that he was there. He goes, I don't understand. He goes, I've been sleeping for hours and hours and hours, and I can't keep my eyes open. And I'm not even really tired, but I just can't do it. I go, because you're not used to this kind of energy, right? So he wasn't purging, he was simply overwhelmed. But anyways, it's a great topic. We should maybe next week we'll talk about purging. That would be really fascinating to work on. I'm not saying I'm an expert in purging, but I am an expert in purging. Okay, so Leaf, you good? Yes, Bright. Breathe. Can you breathe? Can you breathe? Are you good? Yes. Okay. Perfect. All right. So let us do. Right. We're going to do 2 songs / 10 minutes. Do your normal jumping jacks, 54 or 108 jumping jacks, 12 twisty turnies, and then do your Tibetans, 7 of Tibetans, or your mental physics. Okay. So I'm going to pause this. Everyone at home knows what to do. Let's pause this. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you got your exercise on, releasing the congested energies, absorbing the fresh healing energies from the healing and from the higher soul. Okay. So any other questions, comments, concerns, clarifications before we end? I mean, you know how we roll. We're done for Transformation Sunday. It was good to have Letty on. This is her first time joining this aspect of the membership site. She became a new member. New members growing every day. And man, I got to catch up. You're welcome, Alif. Yeah. Get it, Chrissy. Yeah, I got to catch up with some of my responsibilities. Being this sick for this long has put some things in the back burner. Oh, and other factors. Okay, so again, always ask yourself the question, right? Marketing, you have to have something brought into your awareness 7 times before you take action on it. So we're going to keep emphasizing this entire membership site is about transformation. What is transformation? Transformation is strengthening your connection to your higher soul so that runs the show of your life. So you have to ask yourself, okay, with Transformation Thursday, how's this information going to help me today? With the Transformation Sunday, how is this information experience going to help me today? Not next lifetime, not in 20 years, but today. And that's how you become a better person each and every day. And you look back after 5, 10 years of practice and go, whoa, I'm not even the same human being. Okay. You're welcome, Indiana. So special thing. Looking good. Always trying to flirt with me, girl. Always trying to close me. Always. You know? Thank you, Indiana. I appreciate it. It's a struggle. Thank you. Thank you. It's only a struggle if you think it is, right? Right? We create our own obstacles. What else? What else? What else? Let me see. I just want to make sure I missed anything that Adriana had to say. I want to ignore it completely. Okay, I've ignored everything that I can. It's the orange. Yeah, maybe that's why Leaf was expelling because of the orange. That was the like, bing, hits her aura. She's like, I can't take it anymore. All right, guys, lots of love to you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you on Thursday. And yes, I've not forgotten about the audio recording. Obviously, we haven't done it for the reasons mentioned earlier, but that will be coming out soon. Okay, lots of love to you guys. Bye.